Hey there everyone, Lord Frigid here with another episode of Aether Raids Offense. This time I've got another light season video for you, and I have to say I had a pretty smooth light season overall. I didn't run into nightmare water season bonus unit Croms everywhere I looked, so that was fine. I ran into a couple of them, but it wasn't super horrible. And I mean, I guess that's really all I have to say for this video, for the intro, so let's go ahead and get right into these battles. This first map is another classic example of a box-style layout. The use of Crom over someone harder to take down, like Seliph, is at the very least a questionable decision, but the intent is clear. The map attempts to make it difficult to make the AI aggressive without causing an avalanche of foes to come crashing down on you. The enclosed layout makes it hard to do hit-and-run maneuvers, and Azura's lack of a weapon means you can't snipe Ophelia from this space and get the refresher on the enemy phase for free. However, the enclosed layout is a double-edged sword. You can simply break this blue lion banner and place a bulky ranged tank in its place. Ophelia will attack first, as there are no other possible actions. Then Crom will move next and receive Azura's refresh. And now, you can probably see the issue here. All the refresh power is gone, and with the cavalry school intact, Crom can't reach your unit. Further, the remaining enemies are forced to funnel down through the narrow opening on the right-hand side after Crom breaks the block. Once you've dealt with their mindless advance, taking the Aether structures out from under the weaponless Azura's nose is no problem. Another viable option is Gale Force. This is especially true due to Azura's lack of a weapon, and the fact that Reinhardt is practically begging to be trapped in the corner. Because Crom isn't Seliph, a very strong red, or reasonably strong blue, should be able to Gale Force right through him, opening up the opportunity to eliminate Sothis and Ophelia, and render Reinhardt helpless. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and send in this Aether raiding party here. I'm going to be employing a full-on Gale Force strategy, using Aether and Azura mostly to take out Sothis, Ophelia, Reinhardt, Yoon, and Crom. I'm going to be leading actually with Air to get a defense debuff onto Crom so Azura can actually take him down. He is, even though he has color disadvantage, his large defense and HP stats make him pretty difficult to take down with Azura without that debuff. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of time to get into position here. That tactics room is going to be annoying, but there's really nothing to do about it, since I need it in place so Yoon doesn't become aggressive.
Understood.
So just going to go ahead and take another couple turns here to break everything I need to break, and then get my units into position.
What can I do?
And then when the time comes, I will just initiate combat by taking Yoon down. And actually, well, maybe not immediately. I should also, before I really do anything, I should go ahead and verify matchups. So let me get my units into position here.
Let's go.
What I'm going to be doing is first I'm going to go ahead and have Sita walk straight up and then get refreshed by Peony. And what that's going to do is it will allow me to check to just make sure I did my math right on the Ophelia matchup. I'm pretty confident that I did, but you never really know sometimes. So yes, you can take her down. Let's go ahead and smite Azura up 2 spaces. Make sure she can take Crom down. Alright, 2 34s. Okay, perfect. Actually, she deals more damage than I thought she did. She doesn't even need that defense drop. Probably because I was able to get her the buff and the Flower of Joy bonus from Peony. I don't think I quite accounted for that in my calculations. I didn't want to make any assumptions. Although, really, when I have full control over how I initiate, that shouldn't have even been a problem. Just wanted to be extra safe, I guess. That's just how I am. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that debuff. As you will note, 37 damage without the debuff would have just been 2 30s, which would not have taken him down. So now, Sita will be able to get Gale Force by attacking Ophelia. And after that, she'll go ahead and move over to Sothis, thus trapping Reinhardt. Then I have a choice. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go ahead and take Reinhardt down. I can tell by the matchup preview that she is able to do it. So the other option really is just breaking the tactics room, which is nice to prevent Air's movement from being hampered any further, but I don't think it's a huge deal. I mean, I really just need to take the Aether structures, and I've got plenty of time to do that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take Reinhardt down, get him out of the way. And let's take a look. Well, take a look at what? Azura's not doing anything. So let's go ahead and have Air move over towards the Aether structures in the corner. She should be able to take them out pretty quickly. I'll have her take the Panic Mana down first. Oh wait, no, actually wait. Channel Dream allows her to warp to Azura. Never mind. And now after she takes down the Aether Fountain, I'll just have Sita finish the job. Today's second map is an infantry pulse setup. It falls short of being space suppression, as using infantry melee frontliners prevents the team from threatening large amounts of space. Additionally, there is a rally trap element to the map, with Brunia carrying both a rally and a ruse in an attempt to get her range extended and hamper enemy phase strategies. I see a couple big issues with this map. First of all, Faye is many things, but she is no great offensive threat. If you can calculate everything out and find that you have a tank that can deal with her, Sophia, and Brunia, you can place a unit in her range here, which will avoid getting hit by the ruse entirely. There are also a couple other viable ways to get around the rally trap. For instance, you can stick a unit here and break the catapult. This forces Brunia into attacking, as she does not have any eligible rally targets, unless you've also broken the panic manner. Note, however, that your unit will probably still be forced to take Sophia or Chad's attack as well, unless both Laram and Sophia move off to the left for whatever reason. Additionally, you can pick off Roy and place a ranged tank here. Brunia will still be able to rally. However, this space is not affected by the ruse skill, and as long as your unit threatens the space below Laram, Brunia will rally from her current location, meaning that even if Laram opts to refresh instead of attacking, Brunia will be unable to reach your unit. This is probably the safest of the strategies that involve a ranged tank. Finally, another good option that I wanted to bring up is Gale Force. Because Faye's health pool is so large but her stat spread is mediocre, she's an easy target to activate Gale Force on. Simply break these structures and hide your initiating unit here. Then, when you're ready to roll, have your initiating unit break the panic manner, get refreshed, and go to 10 on the enemies. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send in the Cedar raiding party here. This is going to be a very Gale Force heavy strategy. Let me go ahead and get my units into position here, and I will give a brief overview of what I'm going to be trying to do. So I'm going to be taking full advantage of the fact that the catapult prevents the enemies from targeting the space where the concert hall currently is, or, well, was, until Air just destroyed it. I'm going to hide Sita in that location. And then, when the time comes, I will have her walk up, break the catapult, and then attack Faye. Then, I'll have Air smite Azura up the left-hand side, and with Faye gone, she will actually be able to take down Sophia and activate Gale Force, which allows me to continue mowing down the enemies. Actually, Brunia should be a pretty easy matchup for Azura, since she does not receive any debuffs, and at this point, after Azura attacks Sophia, she will still be at full HP. So yeah, this should be a pretty easy initiation here. I'll go ahead and get that refresh off. Sita can take down Faye in 2 hits, exactly as expected. And then I really just need to figure out what the rest of my turn looks like. My plan is to simply take down Laram, and then have Azura, since Azura will be attacking Brunia from the spot where Sophia currently is. And Sita would take down Chad. I believe Chad will be targeting Azura, which means that since Azura can't counterattack, Chad will still be alive come the next player phase. So I will have some time to break the Aether Amphora before finishing the job. So let's go ahead and have that happen. Get the charge down on Chad's, I think it was Moonbow, don't really remember. And as expected, Sita can take Brunia down pretty quickly. So now, Chad should attack Azura, and of course that debuff from his dagger will not affect Sita, because she is not isn't within 2 spaces of her, and Sita should be able to take down Roy with no trouble at all. Oh yeah, that's that is a grossly one-sided matchup there. And let's take a look. Yeah, I don't really want to chance this bullet trap being real, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and have Sita break the Amphora, and Azura should be able to finish the job. Finally, the third map is a true space suppression setup. Lyn is used to cover a significant amount of space, and she is backed up by Igren and Yoon on the left, and Yoon and Nagi on the right. Tethys, obviously, provides refresh and sudden panic support. This is another map where I can't say with confidence that there is a generic solution that many people could employ. I think a range tank with significant support can actually handle Lyn and Igren, but it's pretty close math. For reference, my own Fae was a few speed points shy of avoiding a follow-up attack from Igren, which made all the difference in the matchup because Lyn's only damage was 20 from Poison Strike, and neither Yoon would have been able to do anything. One thing I want to note here is that if you do place a range tank on the edge of Lyn and Igren's range, Tethys will be unable to reach them after they attack. This means that only the Yoons will be able to receive Tethys' refresh, and they are significantly less threatening than Igren and Lyn are. Another important thing to note is that if your ranged tank does not have Null Sea Disrupt, and is able to KO Igren, likely due to an automatic follow-up, the game will prioritize Lyn's combat as she does not die. Against a slow ranged tank, this could actually help, allowing your unit to charge up a 3-charge special that will be unleashed after Igren's first hit, which may well prevent you from having to tank a second. Another strategy you might get some mileage out of is a hit-and-run maneuver. Because Nagi is carrying odd follow-up instead of special fighter, it's not too difficult for a 3-move unit to charge up Gale Force against her and then run to safety. Sniping her is also a viable option. In fact, constant hit-and-runs with a strong red mage should make this map fall relatively easily, as long as you can pick off Lyn before her massive threat range becomes even more of an issue. All in all, it's a difficult map, and I actually ended up making a pretty big AI misread, as you'll see in the replay, but it's certainly not unbeatable. So, in general, I recommend not rematching people whose defense team lead is a +10 Yoon, but I had ladders, I was curious, and so here I am. I'm going to go ahead and try and employ a combination of a Gale Force hit and run and AI manipulation strategy. I worked it out so that I know Igren deals the most damage to my air of my units on this map. So I'm going to go ahead and have her in the second column to try and bait her straight down. Meanwhile, Sita will be, I'll have her Minerva smite her straight up the right hand side, take down Yoon in 2 hits, activate Gale Force, and then get refresh and reposition to safety. The blue units will be in the lower right hand corner, so the green units will be dragged down towards them. So that, and this whole thing actually even works because +10 Yoon with +5 Dragon Flowers takes 42 damage from Sita. Very nice, very convenient. So, I'm going to go ahead and get the show on the road. On the enemy phase, I'm expecting the other Yoon to move first. It's just she has no assist. Tethys will warp to her, and regardless of which space Yoon chooses to move to, I'm expecting Tethys to end up 2 spots below the catapult. Just because air will target these spaces where the heavy traps are, and from my observation, the AI tends to support skill from non-threatened spaces. Alright, so everything worked out except Igren used a rally, which I should have seen coming. I knew she wasn't going to rally at the beginning of the turn because no one was threatening or threatened.
Let's go.
But I forgot that when enemies move, their threat ranges change. Although, I'm not sure this is actually bad. Huh. Give me a sec here, I need to think about this. So it turns out this isn't even a problem at all, and I really have to thank this person for maxing out not 1, but 2 Yoons, so Sita is able to actually activate Gale Force by taking down both Yoon and Lyn here, and then I'll just have her reposition Azura to safety. Now Sita will be in range of Tethys, which means that the first thing that happens on the enemy phase is that Igren will rally Tethys, and I believe 31 defense. I believe that's low enough that Tethys will attack instead of refreshing Igren. Although I'm pretty sure even if Tethys refreshed, I could deal with an advancing Igren either way. So let's take a look and see how this turns out. So yeah, rally from Igren, exactly as expected, and then Tethys does attack. And the only thing that I'm really apprehensive about here is that now Nagi is approaching on an odd-numbered turn instead of an even-numbered turn. That's why I initially kicked off the AI aggression on turn 3, so I could try and take out Nagi on turn 4, but oh well. Let's see here. Sita does survive that iceberg, even with the -7 to her res from Tethys' dagger, so that's pretty nice. Pulse Smoke does stop Gale Force from activating the first time round, but it's only a -1 charge, so it shouldn't be too much issue to just refresh Sita, and then attack Nagi again. Then she'll get Gale Force, and then she'll be able to run away. So that shouldn't be too bad at all. This iceberg's gonna hurt though, I'm sorry. And then, afterwards, I will need to move air 2 spaces over to the right, just to make sure Igren doesn't try and go off to the left, which will probably or actually rather almost certainly, make it so that I might not be able to finish the map in time. So
Good morning.
let's go ahead. Actually,
The glimmer of
after I move air, I also need to move Peony over to one space to the left in preparation for the next turn. Now a Grand moves straight down, please, and thank you. So I can have air smite Sita up 2 spaces,
Yes.
and I'll just let Sita finish what she started here.
Certainly.
Okay, looks like it'll be a 2 to 3 round KO. That's totally fine. I have 2 refreshers raring to go. So let's see here. Gentle Dream.
What next?
Oh, 2H KO. Sweet. And actually, now that I think about it, this was a Sita assisted solo. Awesome. Alright, that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Aether Raids Offense. I am kinda apologetic and kinda unashamed about the way the Sita raiding party has kind of started taking over Light Season. I actually deployed it for 7 out of my 8 battles this season, and the last one was a super easy map that I just dragon armored, but didn't really feel like it was worth showcasing. I feel like it maybe will make for a stale experience after a while. Well, for you, the viewers, I can tell you for a fact right now that I will never get tired of it. But, yeah, we'll have to see what the future holds. Anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and go forth into Astra Season, and hopefully I will have as much of a good time in this upcoming season as I did this week, with young Sita as a bonus unit, so that should be good. And I hope to see you at the end of that with another Aether Raids Offense video. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.